Today I fucked up by forgetting I was supposed to be taught stuff. I started university last week, and amidst all the pandemic stuff, a lot of things has been moved online. We're all trying hard to maintain some degree of normalcy, but at the same time the school has been really disorganized with telling us when and where things are on. They really threw us in the deep end, and by today, 5 days into the start of the course, we're already on our 5th and 6th problem sheets, set by the same professor, for the same tutorial. So we go off and do the questions and talk about it with a partner student and a professor, so 2-on-1 teaching stuff. I'd been really slow and kind of struggling at all the sheets, while my course mates were seemingly finding it a lot easier, which gave me mild "oh, everyone here is so much smarter than me" panic. But I struggled my way through it nonetheless, and since I always got them done in the end, it was okay. Until today someone else in the group chat asked, "Hey, you know the lecture for the 6th sheet? It doesn't cover questions so and so, where can I find the missing info?" And people started discussing textbook and alternative lecture options, to which I went, "Lectures? ? So it turns out we were supposed to be given lectures on the problems, and since everything's online, we weren't given a schedule for recorded lectures, resulting in me straight up forgetting people were supposed to be teaching me how to do stuff instead of just telling me to do stuff. After I elaborated this point to my fellow students, everyone started freaking out about how smart I must be if I managed to do all the sheets so far without lectures, while I'm just here freaking out about how completely fucking dumb I must be to not notice something was up sooner. Guess who's binge watching lectures for the rest of the day? ! TL, Doctor tried to do the work of a university course without the receiving the actual education part of said university course. You, my friend, are glorious in your dumbassery. JK, I totally agree with all your friends. I'm a professor, I've been teaching for 20 years. This is my 2nd semester teaching online. I've made 3 of the fucking dumbest mistakes possible already, and it's just now midterm. And also, my mistakes are public AF, and affect everyone. Online college is a shit show. You are not alone. That's kinda to be expected, I think. I'm glad I finished uni before this happened. Keep doing your best. Smiley face. A friend brought up the idea of signing up for classes now, to finish his education because of the online teaching, therefore most everything being an open book, as you have complete access to the internet. If I didn't want to actually learn and remember stuff, that was a fairly convincing argument. He only has so many credits left, so it's worth. Whereas I'd start at the begin, so it would be pretty awkward to start classes intentionally knowing that I want an easy ride. Most video players will let you play the lecture at higher/slower speeds. I usually go with 50% depending on how fast the professor talks. Makes the binge a bit easier if they talk slow. What a shit show. Today I fucked up by eating too quickly and almost dying. This just happened a few minutes ago. I'm still shaking, and trying to work off my adrenaline high. I have a professional friend, we both work in the same field, but not together, and I know her through her employer, who hasn't been working much due to fears of catching COVID-19, since her type of work is much more public contact oriented than mine is. She mentioned on Facebook that she could use a few bucks, or a meal. Now I love to cook for people more than most things in life. It just brings out my happy, and I need very little excuse to make a mess in the kitchen. So I offered to make her a meal if she felt it safe to come over, since our COVID bubbles are very small. So last night I thought and seared a super tasty beef roast, tossed it in the slow cooker with a few handfuls of whole baby yellow potatoes and some cut up carrots and celery, topped it off with a few cups of reconstituted better than bouillon, and let it work its slow magic all night long. I even woke up early and poured off the juices so the fat could solidify out, and made gravy before I left for work this morning. Tonight she comes over as planned. She loves everything I made, and after cheesecake and some chit-chat I load her up with more food to take home. Once she leaves I head to the kitchen and start the process of packing up the leftovers. Remembering how she praised the potatoes, I fish out a baby potato from the gravy and toss it in my mouth, give it a few half-hearted chews, and swallow it down. Except it doesn't actually go down. My epiglottis apparently had a hiccup and lets a large wedge of potato in, and the bugger won't budge. My heart instantly goes into overdrive. I break out in a cold sweat, my brain in blind panic mode. I'm standing in my kitchen, alone. My husband is upstairs. I can't think past the panic to grab my phone and text him to help me. The dog and cats can't help me. All I can do is focus on how I can't breathe. I desperately tried to swallow, but my throat just makes a sick bubbling, popping noise. Trying to breathe feels the same. I attempt to cough, and get a small bit of potato up. I try again, same result. Still can't breathe. Oh shit, oh fuck. Suddenly I realize I'm gripping the edge of my kitchen sink, and I violently ram my abdomen into the edge of it. A larger chunk of potato comes up. I do it again, harder. More potato comes up. One more time and a huge piece, close to half of the entire potato comes up, and suddenly, air. Sweet, gorgeous, gravy-scented air. I'm coughing, gagging, spitting, gasping over the sink, staring at the huge piece of food that I somehow didn't chew and yet still managed to get down my throat. I spend the next minute enjoying the ability to once again breathe, which I hope I never take for granted again, and eventually go tell my husband what I did, as I was still shaking and very much needed a hug. He said he would have been very sad if he had come downstairs and found me dead. I'm currently taking bets on how long it would take the cats to eat my eyeballs. Too long didn't read. I ate a whole baby potato too quickly and almost choked to death. I would have been very sad if I had come downstairs to find you dead is such a husband thing to say. Glad to hear you're okay now, Op. He's far from the most effusive human, but still I trust his sincerity. First of all, reading your description of throwing together that badass slow cooker roast literally made my mouth water. With the weather finally cooling off, this is definitely happening soon now. I bet, before the potato rudely interrupted your meal, it was amazing. Glad you got it out and are here with your eyeballs still in your head. Roast is totally epic, and tomorrow I will very carefully eat more of it. This is literally my worst fear. Then make sure to chew your potatoes. Smile. The closest I have ever been to choking was actually on a big price of roast beef. I know you said it was a potato, but for me it was a medium thick slice of roast beef that I just swallowed all of it at once. I almost passed out and suffocated. It was one of the scariest moments in my life. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yep, I think it will go down in my personal history as the worst 45 seconds of my life. It was weird how it wasn't painful at all, just utterly terrifying. And now I sit here and think of all the things I could have done to get my husband's attention, like grab the huge cast iron skillet and drop it to the floor, or just run upstairs, the stairs that were right off the kitchen, and go get him. Panic makes brains do stupid things. I'm just happy I realized I could probably help myself, and then still had the consciousness to do so. You can perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Search on YouTube. I can't understand why this isn't taught in school. They taught it to us in school, along with CPR, first aid, hunter gun safety, and aerobics. Fun fact, that hunter safety course gives me the lifetime ability to obtain a concealed carry permit. Today I fucked up. I left Wasabi on the counter while I ran out to pick up my husband for work. So I got sushi today for my little guy, my son, and myself. He and I ate all of it other than the giant ball of wasabi, and I stuck the container on the kitchen counter to wash out and put in the recycling later because I'm lazy. Time goes by and I have to run out quickly to pick up my husband from work, so we leave. I come home to a scene straight out of a movie. My house is covered in piss and shit, like human-sized poops and a gallon of pee. My dog never goes in the house and I'm telling him no as he silently vomits an enormous blob of dog food and wasabi right in front of me. He must have eaten the wasabi and it was so spicy he must have panicked and ran around the house pissing and shitting himself. Now he's laying on the couch looking very sad. Edit to add, doggo is fine, his pride hurts. This is also the dog who I have to chase after and keep an eye on because he likes to eat bees. Like lots of bees. TL, doctor, left wasabi out, dog ate it, mayhem and poop storm ensues. Edit 2, regretful dog picture. Luckily it's not toxic, but it is disgusting. There's going to be plenty mess though until it's out. Yeah, we were panicking for a minute. We've lost a few pets to old age this year. I'm not ready to lose another because of Wasabi. Poor dog, but Lamau, I doubt he will ever eat anything off the counter ever again. It's crazy. I'd cow he even got onto the counter. He's not a tall dog. His legs are unusually short for his body. First it eats, then it regrets. I'm glad gorgeous pup is okay. Poor doggy. I sure hope you didn't have a Roomba. The only time in my life I'm glad I don't have a Roomba.